I am here to talk about bisobrachii. Bisobrachii have two origin of short-head and origin of long-head. Origin of short-head affects of the cortical process of the scapula. Origin of long-head supraglenoid tuberosity of the scapula. It is inserted on the tuberosity of the radius and aponeurosis of the bisobrachii. Flexes the elbow joint. The shorted assist with the shoulder adduction. The longed may assist with the abduction if the humerus is laterally rotated. With the origin fixed, flexes the elbow joint, moving the forearm toward the humerus and supinate the forearm with the insertion fixed, flexes the elbow joint, moving the humerus toward the forearm as in pull-up or chinning exercise. Position supine or sitting. Fixation the examiner places one hand under the elbow to cushion it from the table pressure. Test elbow flexion slightly less than or at right angle with the forearm supination. Pressure against the lower forearm in the direction of extension.
Hello everybody. Today we are going to see about the manual muscle testing for brachialis muscle. First of all, origin of the muscle, that is starting position of the muscle. It starts from the anterior surface of the humerus, lateral and medial intermuscular septa, the end position of the muscle. It ends in the tuberosity of ulna and coronoid process of ulna. Tuberosity of ulna is nothing but a small projection from the ulna. Now, action of the muscle. Origin and insertion must be fixed and flex the elbow joint. That is forearm humerus. Now I am going to demonstrate the manual muscle testing on a patient. The position of a client can be supine or sitting position. Next fixation. The examiner or therapist places one hand under the elbow. Now testing for the brachialis muscle with the forearm in supination and flex the elbow at right angle or slightly less than the right angle. Pressure can be given in the direction of extension. If there is any weakness in the brachialis muscle, it decreases the ability to flex the forearm. Thank you.
Today I am going to explain about the abductor pollicis longus. The origin of the muscle will be the posterior surface of the ulnar distal to the origin of the supinator, intraosseous membrane and posterior surface of middle edge of the body of the radius. So it will be here, the origin of the muscle will be here in the ulnar side, and the insertion of the muscle will be like it will go and it will insert here in the base of the first metacarpal of the radial side, and it will inserted in the thumb region. And the action of the muscle will be abducts and extends the third joint of the thumb and abducts the radial deviation. It's like radial deviation also it will help, and also assist in the flexing, helps in flexion of the wrist. The procedure of muscle testing for this, and patient can be sitting or supine position. So we want to, for first fixation, we want to fix the patient hand here, and for the pressure we want to give pressure against the lateral surface of the distal of the first metacarpal in the direction of the adduction and flexion. Muscle testing for adductor pollicis longus, and I am going to explain with the example of a client. So client position can be sitting or supine position. So first we want to stabilize the hands of the client. We want to hold hands here tightly. Then want to, for pressure, we want to place our index finger lateral side of the thumb, and the client should be abduct their hand. This is the motion of abductor pollicis longus.
Hello friends, in this video we will discuss about the palmar interossei. First we will discuss about the origin of the palmar interossei. There are 5 metacarpal bones, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So first one is in the base of first metacarpal bone of the ulnar side. First metacarpal bone of this ulnar side. Then second one is second metacarpal bone of this ulnar side. In this middle finger there is no adduction movement. So in this middle finger no palmar interossei. Then third one is fourth metacarpal bone of the radial side. And the last one is in the length of fifth metacarpal bone of this radial side. Then we will discuss about the insertion. Each muscle is inserted into the dorsal digital expansion of digit. It is also attached to the base of the proximal phalanges of the same digit. So first palmar interossei is insertion with the medial side of the base of the thumb. Second palmar interossei is insertion with the medial side of the base of the index finger. Third palmar interossei is insertion with the radial side of the base of the ring finger. And the last one is insertion with the radial side base of the little finger. The action of the palmar interossei is adduction of fingers towards the central plane of the middle finger. It assists the flexion of the metacarpophalangeal joints and extension of the interphalangeal joints of the finger. Patient should sit on the chair and with supine position. The test is against the middle phalanges. At last we will see the movement of the palmar interossei. So first movement is adduct the thumb towards the index finger. Then second we adduct the index finger towards the middle finger. Like this we will adduct. Then we will adduct the ring finger towards the middle finger, like this. And last and the fourth one, adduct the little finger towards the middle finger. So this all about is in palmar interossei, and thank you.
This is the demonstration of manual muscle testing of palmaris longus muscle. Origin and insertion of palmaris longus. Origin. Common flexor tendons from the medial epicondyle of the humerus and the deep antebrachial fascia. Insertion. Flexor retinaculum and palmar aponeurosis. Action. Flexes the wrist, tenses the palmar fascia. Testing of palmaris longus. Patient position. Sitting or supine. Fixation. Forearm rests on the table for support in a position of supination. Test. Tensing of palmar fascia by strongly cupping the palm of hand and flexion of wrist. Pressure against the thenar and hypothenar eminences in the direction of flattening of palm of hand and against hand in the direction of extending the wrist. Weakness. Strength of wrist flexion is diminished.
Today we can discuss about the muscle manual testing of dorsal interossei muscle. The dorsal interossei muscle comprises of 4 bipinnate muscles. Look upon it. This is the first muscle, second, third and fourth. Now we can look upon its origination. This first dorsal interossei muscle origination, we can see that it is present in between the adjacent metacarpals. That is first is present between the thumb and the metacarpal of the index finger. Their origination is from the radial side of the index finger, and the second muscle's origination is from the radial side of the middle finger. Third origination is from the ulnar side of the middle finger, and fourth origination is from the ulnar side of the ring finger. Now we can discuss about its insertion. 4 interossei muscle tendon insert at the dorsal aponeurosis and the base of the proximal phalanx of the finger, second, third and fourth.
They all run towards the middle finger. The first muscle insert at the radial side of the index finger, second muscle insert at the radial side of the middle finger, third muscle insert at the ulnar side of the middle finger, and fourth insert at the ulnar side of the ring finger. For the first dorsi-index finger, I was pushing this way. For the second dorsi-index muscle, I was pushing at the radial side of the middle finger this way. For the third index muscle, I was pushing at the ulnar side of the middle finger this way. Okay, look at the difference when ulnar and radially we are pushing. For the fourth index muscle, I was pushing at the ulnar side of the ring finger this way. This way. This is how we can test individually. This finger is not being included because it is abductor digiti minimi. The reason it is not introduced is because of its attachment, because it goes to hypothenar eminence. We can also test it as a group by holding the fingers. Don't let them move away. Simply pinch the fingers.
Hello friends, in this video I am going to demonstrate the manual muscle test of abductor digiti minimi. This muscle originates from the tendon of the flexor carpi ulnaris and pisiform bone and inserted into the ulnar aspect base of the proximal phalanx of little finger. For the test, patient can take sitting or supine position. The hand may rest on the table for support. Now, move the little finger away from other fingers. That is, the action taking place here is the abduction of the metacarpophalangeal joint. Now, apply pressure against ulnar side of the little finger and try to abduct the little finger. This is the manual muscle test of abductor digiti minimi.
In this video, we are going to see demonstration on adductor pollicis manual muscle testing. The adductor pollicis muscle is made up of a transverse head and an oblique head. The adductor pollicis muscle has two origin surface. The transverse head originates from the palmar base of the third metacarpal bone, and the oblique head arises from the capitate bone and the palmar base of the second and third metacarpal bone. Its insertion is the trans head into ulnar side of the base of the proximal phalanx of the thumb and the oblique head into extensor expansion. The adductor pollicis is the deepest of all thenar muscles. The main function of each thenar muscle is associated to their names. The powerful contraction of the adductor pollicis moves the thumb towards the hand, or what we call adduction. The muscle also causes opposition of the thumb. Since the adductor pollicis brevis, adductor pollicis and flexor pollicis brevis attach most distally at the thumb. They can also perform an extension of interphalangeal joint. The position of the patient should be in sitting or supine position. The hand can be stabilized by the examiner or rest on the table to support. To test adduction of thumb, we will move thumb towards the palm. The pressure should be applied against the medial surface of the thumb in the direction of abduction, that is away from the palm.
Hello guys, in this video I am going to demonstrate the manual muscle testing of flexus pollicis longus muscle. Now what is the action of flexus pollicis longus muscle? The action of flexus pollicis longus muscle is the muscle helps in the flexion of the interphalangeal joint of the thumb. This muscle also helps in the flexion of the metacarpophalangeal joint of the thumb, and it may also assist in the flexion of the wrist. Now, what is the origin of flexus pollicis longus muscle? The muscle is originating from the anterior surface of the body of the radius below the tuberosity, that is over here, body of the radius below the tuberosity, and it is also originating from the interosseous membrane, the membrane which is located in between the ulna and the radius bone. This muscle then also some of the fibers of this muscle originates from the medial border of the coronoid process of the ulna, and few fibers also originate from the medial epicondyle of the humerus, that is from this side. So this flexus pollicis longus, then this muscle comes from the anterior surface of the radial bone, and it comes and inserts into the distal phalanx of the thumb. And now I will show how the resistance is given to this muscle in the interphalangeal joint of the thumb. Now the hand is patient's hand I have kept in the supinated position. Now I will fix this metacarpal bone of the thumb and also the proximal phalanx of the thumb. Now patient will try to push the interphalangeal joint of the thumb towards the palmar surface, towards the medial line of the hand, and I will give the force or pressure towards the extension of the thumb direction, in this direction, in the outward direction. Okay, thank you.
Today I am going to demonstrate a video on flexor carpi radialis. So flexor carpi radialis has a combination of flexion and radial deviation. So for this patient position will be sitting and supine. The forearm will be slightly less than supination or either rest on the table for the support or supported by the examiner. And the therapist will give resistance against the eminence in the direction of extension toward the ulnar side, and the patient will be do flexion of wrist toward the radial side, and the origin will be common flexor tendon from the medial epicondyle of the humerus and a deep antebrachial fascia, and insertion will be based on the second metacarpal of bone and base of the third metacarpal bone, and action will be flexus and abduct of the wrist and may assist in the pronation of the forearm in the flexion of the elbow.
We are going to demonstrate flexor digit minimi. So its origin is hook of the hamate bone and the flexor of the retinaculum. Its insertion is base of the proximal phalanx of the little finger on the ulnar side. So the action is it flexes the metacarpophalangeal joint of the little finger and assists in opposition of the little finger towards the thumb. So the patient may be in sitting or supine position. The hand may rest on the table for support. So we are going to test the flexion of the metacarpophalangeal joint with the interphalangeal joints extended. So for that we have to give pressure against the palmar surface of the proximal phalanx in the direction of extension, like this.
Today we are going to see demonstration on abductor pollicis brevis manual muscle testing. Its origin is at flexor reticulum, tubercle of trapezium bone and tubercle of scaphoid bone. Its insertion is at base of proximal phalanges of the thumb at the radial side of the extensor expansion.
It abducts the carpometacarpal and metacarpophalangeal joint of the thumb by a ventral direction perpendicular to the plane of palm. The patient may be sitting or in supine position. The examiner have to stabilize the hand. Pressure will be given against the proximal phalanges in the dorsal direction of the palm. Like this.
Hey everyone, this is Alia here. I am going to demonstrate the manual muscle testing of the muscle flexor pollicis brevis. Firstly, let us have a brief look on the origin, insertion and action of this muscle. Flexor pollicis brevis has two heads, namely the superficial head and the deep head. The origin of the superficial head comes from the flexor retinaculum and the trapezium bone, and the origin of the deep head comes from the trapezoid and capitate bones. The insertion of flexor pollicis brevis is on the base of the proximal phalanx of the thumb, the radial side and the extensor expansion. The action of this muscle is that it flexes the metacarpophalangeal and carpometacarpal joints of the thumb. It assists the opposition of the thumb towards the little finger, and since it is attached to the extensor expansion, it may also extend the interphalangeal joints. Now moving on further, the position of the patient may be either sitting or supine, and the hand must be stabilized by the examiner. The main purpose of this test, or why this test is done, is to see the flexion of the metacarpophalangeal joint of the thumb without the flexion of the interphalangeal joint. The pressure should be given against the palmar surface of the proximal phalanx in the direction of extension. Any weakness in this muscle ultimately decreases the ability to flex the metacarpophalangeal joint of the thumb, making it difficult to grip objects firmly between the thumb and the fingers. Contracture, in other words, shortening or hardening or rigidity of this muscle, leads to flexion deformity of the metacarpophalangeal joint. Hope this is informative. Thank you.
Hello everyone, now we are going to see about the manual muscle testing of opponent's pollicis. The opponent's pollicis is a part of thenar eminence, origin of the muscle. The opponent's pollicis originate from the flexor retinaculum and tubercle of the trapezium. Insertion. The opponent's pollicis is inserted into the metacarpal bone of thumb on its radial side. Action. Flexion of thumb's metacarpal at the first carpometacarpal joint, which helps in the opposition of thumb. In simple, that means bringing the pairs of thumb and little finger together. For this testing, the client should sit with her forearms supinated, resting on the table, or the examiner has one hand stabilized on the client's wrist and asks the client to touch the thumb and small finger together so that the nails are parallel. Then the therapist provides pressure against metacarpal bone in the direction of extension and ask the client to do the same action. This is the muscle testing of opponent's pollicis.
Today I am going to explain about extensor pollicis longus. The origin of muscle is middle third of the ulnar distal to origin of the abductor pollicis longus and to interosseous membrane. Insertion of muscle is the distal phalanx of thumb dorsal surface. Action on the extension, the interphalangeal joints and assist in extension of the metacarpal phalangeal joint and the carpus metacarpal joint of the thumb. Assist in abduction and extension of the wrist. Now we do the muscle testing in client. Now we test the extension of the interphalangeal joint of the thumb. The patient want to sit or in supine position. Now the client move the thumb finger in extension and flexion and extension. Now give the pressure against the surface of interphalangeal joint of the thumb in the direction of flexion. The weakness decrease the ability of extension the metacarpal joint and may result in flexion deformity of the joint. Thank you.
Today we discuss about extensor digitorum. It is a common extensor. Origin. It is origin from lateral epicondyle of the humerus and the antebrachial fascia. Insertion. Extensor expansion of the middle and distal phalanges of second, third and fourth and fifth finger. Action. Extend the wrist and extend the metacarpal phalanges and interphalangeal of the second, third, fourth and fifth finger. Test of the patients. The patient's position is supine or sitting position. Fixation of the patients. The examiner stabilizes the wrist, not avoiding full extension. Test of the patients. Extension of the metacarpal joint without extension of the interphalangeal joints. Give pressure against the dorsal surface of the proximal phalanges in the direction of flexion. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everybody. In this video, I am going to demonstrate the manual muscle testing of muscle extensor pollicis brevis. First, we will see origin, which is also known as the starting point. So, extensor pollicis brevis muscle originated on posterior surface of radius bone and the interosseous membrane. This would be your radius on thumb side. This is starting point, also known as the origin, and then runs up the hand and inserts on the base of the proximal phalanx on the dorsal side or back side of the thumb. Okay, so now we can move on the action. This muscle main function is extension of metacarpophalangeal joint of thumb. This is extension of metacarpophalangeal joint of thumb and abducts the carpometacarpal joint. This is carpometacarpal joint of thumb, and it also does abduction of wrist. Bringing the thumb up or moving the thumb close to the body. These three are primary function of this muscle, and it also does weak extension of wrist. So now I am going to demonstrate how to check manual muscle testing of extensor pollicis brevis muscle. So, patient can be sitting or supine. The examiner or therapist stabilize the wrist, and the therapist asks the patient to do the extension of metacarpophalangeal joint, and the pressure can be given against the proximal phalanx in the direction of flexion. If any weakness in this muscle, it could be decrease the ability to extend the metacarpophalangeal joint. Thank you. I hope you like this.
Today I am going to discuss about muscle testing, opponens digiti minimi. The origin of opponens digiti minimi. The hook of a hamate bone and flexor retinaculum. Insertion. The entire length of fifth metacarpal bone ulnar side. Action. Apposus means the flexus with a slight rotation. The carpometacarpal joint of fifth little finger and lifting the ulnar border of the hand to a position in which metacarpophalangid flexus can opposes the little finger to the thumb. Helps to cup the palm of the hand. Now, ulnar side C7, C6, T1. The patients can be sitting or supine position. Now, fixation. The hand may be stabilized or by examiner or therapist or rest on the table for support. The first metacarpal held firmly by examiner. Test. Opposition of fifth metacarpal to the first. Pressure against the palmar surface along the first metacarpal in the direction of flattening the palm of the hand. In illustration, one finger pressure was used to avoid upcoming the belly muscle. Usually thumb was used to apply pressure along the fifth metacarpal. Weakness. Weakness results in the flattening of the palm and makes it difficult, if not possible, opposes the little finger to the thumb.